At what point or points is the tangent line for y squared plus 2x squared plus 2y equals 8 parallel to the line y equals 4x plus 5? Parallel lines have the same slope. The slope of the line given is the coefficient of x. So the slope is 4. Parallel lines have the same slope. We want our tangent line to the equation to be parallel to the other line, and therefore we want our tangent line slope to be a 4. The slope of the tangent line is the derivative. So the first thing to do is find the derivative of the equation y squared plus 2x squared plus 2y equals 8. We have an implicit equation here. It's not solved for y in terms of x, so to find the derivative of y prime, we have to find it implicitly. This is done by taking the derivative of both sides with respect to x, indicated by a prime on both sides. The first term on the left is a power rule. Bring the power down, subtract 1 from the power. It'll be to the first power. But then multiply by the derivative of the inside, which is y prime, due to the chain rule. Every time we take the derivative of a y term, we will have a y prime multiplying it due to the chain rule. The second term, 2x squared, will be a power rule. Bring down the 2, multiply with the other 2. Subtract 1 from the power. The third term, the constant will come along, plus 2, and the derivative of y is y prime. On the right side, the derivative of 8 is a 0. We want to solve for y prime here as a function of x and y. So we need to isolate our y prime terms. We have 2 of them. We have this one, we have this one. The term that does not have a y prime needs to move to the other side, so let's subtract 4x over to the right side. 2y, y prime, plus 2y prime equals negative 4x. We can now factor a y prime out, and that'll leave us with 2y plus 2 equals negative 4x. And we can solve for y prime by dividing both sides by the 2y plus 2. Since the coefficient in the numerator is even, and there's a common factor of 2 in the denominator, we can factor and reduce our numbers a little bit. So let's factor a 2 out of the denominator, leaving us with a y plus 1. Remember that we cannot cancel numerator and denominator expressions until something factors out, if there's multiple terms. We can now reduce by a 2, and y prime, which is the slope, will be negative 2x over y plus 1. This is what we want to equal to 4. So we'll set the equal to 4 to be parallel to the line that was given. And that now gives us a relation between x and y. Actually, we have negative 2x equals 4 times y plus 1. Let's reduce both sides by dividing by a negative 2 so that we have x. Now, if we divide 4 by a negative 2, we have a negative 2. And what this will do is give us an x in terms of y. Now that we have an x related to y, to find the points, it has to follow the equation, the original implicit equation given to us. And here's how x and y are related. So this is now going to plug in to x's up here. So our original implicit equation was y squared plus 2x squared plus 2y equals to 8. And we just found an expression that we can actually plug in for x. So we have y squared plus 2 times negative 2y minus 2 squared plus 2y equals to 8. So we have y squared plus 2 times negative 2y minus 2 squared means times itself. And since it's an expression, we will have to FOIL that out. So we have y squared plus 2 times the first. Negative 2y times a negative 2y is a positive 4y squared. Outside negative 2y times a negative 2 is a plus 4y. Inside negative 2 times a negative 2y is a plus 4y. And last, negative 2 times a negative 2 is a positive 4. So we have y squared plus, distributing the 2 in, we will have 8y squared plus 8y plus another 8y plus an 8 plus a 2y equals to an 8. We can combine like terms together. We have an 8y squared and a 1y squared to become 9y squared. We have an 8y, another 8y, that's 16y plus 2 more y plus 18y. And then we have plus 8 equals to 8. Now to solve for this, we have a trinomial quadratic on the left, so we want to equate it to 0. Let's subtract 8 from both sides. So we end up with 9y squared plus 18y equals to 0. This is no longer a trinomial, but it does have a common factor of 9y. We can factor that out, and that'll leave us with y plus 2 equals to 0. So y equals to 0 and y equals to negative 2. We want to find the corresponding x-coordinates to each of these. We want the points. But let's remember that x and y are related by our original relation that we found by making the slope equal to 4 in the first place. So each of those y's will have a corresponding x. So y equals 0 will give us an x that equals to negative 2 times 0 minus 2. Well, negative 2 times 0 is 0, and then minus 2 is a negative 2. So we have an x-coordinate of negative 2 paired off with the y-coordinate of 0. We also have the y-coordinate of negative 2, and x will be negative 2 times negative 2 minus 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4 minus 2, which comes out to a 2. So we have an x-coordinate of 2 paired off with a y-coordinate of negative 2. And there's the 2 points where we have our tangent line parallel to the line y equals 4x plus 5.